Ridiculous things happen every day, and while there's no way to actually catch them all, some are so amazing they make the news. Not the news that you watch on TV or the news that normally pops up, but like the odd news. Examples include a toilet broke a world speed record. The fact that there is actually a record for the fastest motorised toilet is amazing in itself. In Taiwan, beauty pageant contestants this year, as part of the actual application process, they're required not to have extramarital affairs. Sometimes the headline itself is just enough and you don't want to read the story in case it ruins it. This one, songbirds gang up with neighbours, and the little blurb is, great tits are more likely to gang up against predators if neighbours they know are being threatened, say scientists. What scientist is checking this stuff out? That's amazing. Dentist removes ex-boyfriend's teeth after breakup. Guy went to his ex-girlfriend's dental practice in Poland. He had severe toothache. Because he had dumped her for another woman, she took revenge and she removed all of his teeth. For a start, if you break up with someone because you dumped them for another woman, you don't go to them for dentistry, you just don't do that. The best part is that his new girlfriend then left him saying she can't date a toothless man. Oh, that's so horrible. My favourite one. Swan known as Mr. Asbo barred from River Cam after terrifying rowers. Instantly, I wanted to read this. There is a swan known as Mr. Asbo. A notorious swan nicknamed Mr. Asbo has been secretly removed from his river after stepping up his attacks on Cambridge rowers. The angry cob and his mate were plucked from their nest and whisked off to a secret location 60 miles away. How did they keep it a secret? Did they blindfold them? Was it like a black box? Authorities said they were forced to take action after the creature's attack on terrified river users intensified over the past 3 weeks. Just the fact that there are terrified river users, brave volunteers wearing protective clothing, scooped up the birds and transferred them out of the city, where it left the rowing community in fear. However, Mr. Asbo's supporters yesterday branded the move despicable. Mr. Asbo's greatest defender, Robert Middleton, known as Battleship Rob, who lives on a boat, was outraged by the removal. The retired boatman said, "It's bang out of order. What rights are there to take him? He's a very intelligent swan and this is despicable." Lee Cully said, "I'm alarmed. They were just nesting." What part alarmed him? Just, "I'm alarmed." They just had an interview with him. They're like, "Oh, Lee, your boat is near to where Mr. Asbo nests. How do you feel?" "I'm alarmed." What was he alarmed about? I can't even read this properly because this is amazing. Rowers welcome the move as an end to the violent attacks they have endured. River manager Dr. Pip Noon, another amazing name. This has got to be made up. The male has escalated his attacks on rowers this season and his behaviour had worsened. He wasn't able to control his behaviour. He was at risk of causing serious injury, but also of being severely injured himself. So basically they used the excuse of, "We're doing it for your safety," which is always a terrible excuse and a terrible reason. An experienced rower and coach welcomed the news as she had been battered, bitten and swooped on by the swan. She said, "He's not like the other swans on the river." I mean, battered, bitten and swooped on. You train somewhere else. I'm sorry, but you go somewhere else. After a swan has battered you, leave. He's won, don't go back. As soon as he saw you approach, he would be there waiting, and there was nowhere around him. He would sit in the middle and then close in to attack you. Once he even did a drone style attack. Taking off and flapping into my lap, virtually knocking me out. It's pretty heavy. It's a swan, isn't it? So it's a big thump when he hits you. There is just no better article I will read this week.